Hello. Today we are going to be graphing some lines. So with this first example, I would like to point out that this one is in the form of, this one is in the form of this equation here. And so this B right here is what we call the y-intercept. And the M is the slope. So from this example that I have, the slope is going to be 2, and the y-intercept is going to be also 2. So the y-intercept is the thing that crosses the y-axis. It's a crossing the y-axis at a number. And so that means, I would also like to point out that means the x will be 0. So the y-intercept for this one is 2, so we'll start at 2 here. And then the slope you can think of as rise over run, which refers to how many units up or down on the graph. And if it's just a number like 2, you can just think of it as 2 over 1. So we're going to go up 2 and over 1. So up 2 over 1, that would be here. And then you can make another point to make your line more defined. So we can go from here, we can go up 2 over 1. And I will try to draw a straight line here. Oh no. It's not perfect, and that is how you graph a line. So I'm going to make another example. We'll go over a couple more. And this time we'll do one with a slope that's a fraction, so we can get used to graphing those. So for this one, the slope is going to be negative 4 over 3, and the y-intercept is going to be 1. So we're going to start with 1, which is, I need to move my other points. We're going to start at 1, which is right here. And then I would like to point out that this slope is negative. So we're going to go in a little bit of a different direction than the other one. Instead of going up and over to the right, you're going to go down and over to the right. So we're going to go down 4 and over 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's right here. And then if we want to make another point, we can go down 4 and over 3 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And that is our line for that one. So, and then the last example for this one, and then I'll talk about a different type of problem. Oops. Sorry, I'm struggling with the functions of this. But, okay, so my last one is if you have a line that looks like this is plainly just a y-intercept. So your y-intercept would be 4, and there is no slope. The slope, or you could put 0 if you want. So this line would literally just look, you'd have your point 4, and there's no slope, so it would just be a straight line like that. And that would be the graph for that one. So and now we have a different type of problem. Sometimes they'll give you 2 points and they'll want you to make a line from that. So I'll have this example here. And I want to talk about another formula that we'll need. This one is called the point slope formula. Which we're going to use, and we're going to put this into the slope intercept formula. We're trying to make it look like this. So first of all, we need to get an m, which is our slope. And since we have these 2 points here, we're going to use a formula called just the slope formula, which is this. And I like to label my points just so everything is less confusing. But I would like to point out that you can switch the order of those and you'll get the same answer. It doesn't matter. So I'll start with this one. I get -1 minus 3 over 5 minus -5. And don't forget all of the negative signs. So then you'll get -4 over 10. Because this right here is really, it's a double negative, so it's 5 plus 5. And this fraction simplifies to -2 over 5. So now we have our slope. So we're going to, now that we have our slope, we're going to start with this formula here. And you can pick either point from the problem. You can pick either of these points and it doesn't matter, just pick whichever one you want. But you're going to use the slope that you got right here. So I'll pick the first one. I'll do y minus 3 equals the slope that we got. And x minus -5, which is going to be x plus 5. And I'll just do that real quick. I also would like to point out a method because most people do not like dealing with fractions. You can, if you look at this original formula, and let's just use the slope that we have. Most people don't like multiplying and adding fractions. So you could just multiply this side by 5 and kind of solve it like an algebraic equation that way. So then you'd have this, and you got rid of the fraction. So I'm going to do that because I think that makes it simpler. So I'm going to multiply this side by 5, which is multiplying this entire thing by 5. And so then I'll have 5 times y minus 3 equals -2, because that makes that part go away. -2 times x plus 5. So then if we multiply it out, we get this. And then we can combine our like terms. We'll add 15. We're going to keep the y over here to make it look like the slope-intercept equation. And the x is already over here, so that's fine. And then this is going to be +5. And then all we need to do is divide by 5. So we're going to divide everything by 5. And then you will get, and this is your equation of the line that we need to graph. And we can see what the graph looks like. So if the y-intercept is 1, we'll start here, and the slope is negative. So we'll go down to an over 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's here. Here we go. So that is the graph of that line there. Just an important thing to note is that if you have a positive slope, you just need to remember that your line is going to go like up and to the right. So you need to pay attention to that when you do these problems because a lot of people skip over it. And if you have a negative slope, it's going to go down and to the right. Just know that they'll look like that. And that's it.